Alright, so let's talk blades, everybody. That's what we're into. Today I have for you one of my newly favorite fixed blades today. As you guys know, I am a fan of Tops, and my last couple Tops knives went straight to my dad because I love the man and he deserves a good knife every now and again. So this one is one of those knives of Tops that I absolutely adore. This is a beast of a knife, and it's one that I'm very glad to have in my collection. A bit steep in price, but you know, I guess it kind of goes with the territory. It is a Tops after all. So Tops knives are built, they are overbuilt for the purpose of use and abuse, at least in my personal opinion. They might say that it is, but I'm not entirely sure if they are actually stating that. But this is a knife that I would go to. So let's get into it, guys. Talk blades. So, this is a pretty heavy knife. I love the harness, the strap harness on here. The sheath. This part swivels right here, which is great. It's got a metal ring. This is metal, not aluminum, like steel. And of course, it's got a snap-on, and this is leather. This is Kydex right here. Tough stuff. And I threw this on. This is just black paracord. I put it on the very end here so I can tie it to my thigh, so this thing isn't just bouncing anywhere I'm walking. At least it'll be conformative to the moves that my leg makes, rather than just going all over the place and wearing down this loop here. So it's really simple. I just took some paracord, measured it out, cut it, and tied it on there so that way I could tie it around my thigh, and it works pretty well, actually. This is micarta, and it's like a two-layered micarta. This is micarta, and this is G10 over micarta, which is actually kind of nice. I'm so used to seeing Tops knives with the micarta that I didn't even take consideration of the G10 that's on here. But this is micarta underneath the G10, which is still pretty nice. The way that it's contoured, it's built to last. This thing is a huge knife, really thick, really stout, decently heavy. There it is. The Tops Operator 7, made in the USA. And yes, it has a fuller for weight reduction on here, but I think it's also for aesthetics because it looks really nice. Really, really cool. I never had to do anything with this knife, thank goodness, but you are capable of tightening and untightening and removing these scales if need be. I've never tried to do it, but I've seen someone else do it. It is really sharp. Well, decently sharp anyways. Has a pretty decent edge on there. Alright, let's go into the stats on this thing. Trying to keep it in frame. My tripod hasn't really been treating me too well lately. Oh, and any time that you do get a Tops knife, it comes with an emergency whistle. I don't have that with me right now. I can't find. If I find any, I will. It just comes with, it's like a little thin black whistle that has the company's name and information on it. It usually comes on a little ball chain at the end, hanging, which is also nice to have. So when you're out camping and you get lost, it's always good to have an emergency whistle so they can better find you in some sort of fashion. So let's see how long this thing is overall. So from tip to handle, you are looking at just a little over a foot. So a foot, I want to say a foot and a half. Easy. Now how much does it weigh? Well, if I don't break my scale, I think I can try and give you guys an estimate on how much the knife weighs, if that's at all what you're interested in knowing. This thing does weigh a pretty decent would just stick with ounces. 18.47 ounces. I would have to probably recalibrate my scale later because I know it's going to be all out of whack. But that's alright. Now let's see how thick this thing is. You're looking at a... Oh. .9 millimeters on the handle and a 7.7 on the blade. This is just one of those stout knives. It's built for just use and abuse. I'm so sorry. I'm just I'm a little off today. The handle is nice and beefy. It's chunky, but you can get a really good purchase on there. And the contouring just fits. It's a nice big handle, so if you have big hands, this thing is not going to deter you from holding it. You can even choke up on the blade because it's got that choil right there. The handguard is nice and comfortable. It's not too pokey. It's not too, it's just one of those types of handles. It just feels right. It really does. I haven't really used this too much, like I said, but I have carried it, and I can tell you it is pretty heavy. So if you don't mind the weight, then more power to you. So the Operator 7 on Amazon goes for $156.75. When I purchased this, I think it was a little bit more than that, because when it first came out, it was a little bit more than $156. I can tell you that much. But it was well worth the money. Kydex is great. It's fantastic. It retains this knife pretty well. Pretty well. Like, you would have to actually push in just to take it out. But it's nice and sturdy. Has a little bit of a drain hole right there, which I appreciate very much. So if you do get any type of rainwater in the sheath, it will drain out. The only thing I'd have to say is make sure that this thing doesn't rust. That's all I can really say about it. I might do some chopping and cutting with my bigger knives later on in my channel, so you guys have some more kind of in-depth on how these things, how well they work. I don't want to do too much of a stress test on my knives, only because they're just, I only have one of, and I don't want to break them. But if it's a knife that I don't care about, I might consider doing a really good stress test on it to show you guys if it'll last. But we'll see as time progresses. So yeah, so this is just one of those things. This is great for hiking, backpacking. If you want self-defense in your home, this is a great intimidator. It's not a light knife, so don't expect it's something that you want to carry all the time. Obviously, it is a fixed blade. So, and you know how I feel about fixed blades. You can't really carry them too often. I mean, unless you live out in the wilderness somewhere, then by all means, carry a fixed blade. But in an urban kind of standpoint, fixed blades are kind of a little overkill in my book. As long as you abide by the rules and the laws, I'm pretty sure carrying a fixed blade is just fine. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one. You guys go ahead and hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and slash that subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stab the like button. Don't just, give it some love. Give it some love, but stab it. Just shank it a little bit if you can for me. I will show you guys a little bit more of what I got as far as my fixed blades go. And then I might go back to... I will go back to my folders, obviously. I got a couple coming in. So I'll show that. I'll feature that on my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.